Welcome, Tiny Hen's Big Dreams, here on the Homestead in southern Ecuador. So we're doing a vlog. We're actually going on Eli's delayed birthday trip to kind of a rock quarry thing because he wants to go investigate rocks. And I very nearly, as we leave the house, ran over a crab. Let me show you. So this is what we believe a terrestrial crab. We live up in the mountains. Now there is water nearby. There's like, you know, going down the side there. At first we thought, oh, like a crab fell out of a truck or a thing or something. Nope, terrestrial crab. Yeah, they live in the waterways in the mountains. Didn't even know that was a thing. Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
All right, bye crab. Eli has chosen a giant hole in the earth filled with rock to play for his birthday trip. Next is a collection of tools of destruction. Squirt bottles, brushes, pickaxe, we don't know, tub. What he wanted to do. What you doing there, Wubs?
I'm trying to pretend like you weren't just doing the same thing.
No. I've just been standing here nonchalantly spectating. I did not have my hands deep into the wall collecting mysterious clay layer
We do.
from large vertical wall thing. Well, the kid happily goes and pounds rocks and has found some sort of silver mineral thing. There's big clumps of silver colored stuff. He's over there. You're like, oh my goodness, look at that. Ah! He's definitely not dramatic.
He's so happy.
Alright, so the child has found some sort of shiny thing. So, hold on. I just want to get close to it. Shiny thing. Where's that other one? Let's see the other one.
Or here, it's all wrong.
And then there's
Speckles through. Down here.
speckle.
There's a big chunk up there. Ooh.
Yeah. Shiny things. Some sort of cool mineral. That's neat. It's an exciting find for a birthday trip. Alright. Stow the tools. Collect cool rocks. We found clay. It's sort of a weird reddish, whitish blend. That's neat. And then some other cool shiny crystal things. Because good times. And with that, we gotta go home. We got goats to deal with.
Yep.
Some old garbage wood we had kicking around. Get out of here. We're cutting purlins so we can stack our newfound bounty of beautiful wood that was we've been cutting from the slough. Been down there with the chainsaw cutting it into big usable pieces to dry out for the next year, some amount of time. But when stacking wood, it's important to only use dry purlins. The wood's wet, and if you put wet wood in between wet things, it'll mold. Previously, there was tree laying here. And we're up to here. So we still have that much tree to cut up, which is sort of unfortunate. You see all these little squiggles? They look like micro cheese puffs. That's beetles. They're suddenly attacking it. So that's what that is. Anyway, this is our latest batch of wood. We already have a goodly stack back at the house. We got some, I don't know, 4x8, 4x10. This is a pretty piece. It's a big one.
You got like a 4x4?
More than 16. Yeah, we got a 4x4 and then another 4x6, 4x8, something like that. Yep, different projects. That's a sight. All the way to the bump stops. We're, I don't know, 200, 600, 650, maybe 650 pounds of wood. Yeah, does great. Tiny van. Let's go home. And the stack goes up. So that's, let's see, 10-foot lengths. We have 2 inches, 4 inches, some 3-inch. Thick, 1, 2 1/4, the slab on top there, which is just really pretty. Yeah, so we paint the ends. The wood tends to crack badly from the ends, just the way it dries. We don't have the correct, there's actually some sort of correct like thing you're supposed to paint the end with, or tar or something. We don't have access to any of that. So what we got was a $2.50 pint of random latex house paint that they sell in the hardware store. We chose a pretty color, which otherwise is pointless, but it lets us know that we painted it. But it really actually does help at slowing down the moisture loss from the end versus the middle, and we get much less cracking. This is coffee. Coffee, once picked, removed of its fruit covering, dried, is in a state of parchment. That's what this stuff is.
We want it to be like that.
Yeah, well, slightly more polished. There's still a little bit of funk on it, but that's close enough. But this doesn't work. Parchment is this like paper shell. Here, it's a good crinkle. Yeah. The paper shell that protects the coffee through the process, which is really kind of cool. Unfortunately, if I put it in the roaster like this, massive fire, fuego, ruined coffee. So you have to get it off. And unfortunately, this is one of those things that doesn't translate well to small batch production. You can pick them by hand. I saw a cool thing with a plastic whirly blade in like a ninja chopper like processor, and he managed to chew off the coating and not damage the coffee for small batch. That was kind of neat. I don't have one. So I figured out this was our shower pan material that was extra. It's unused. And with a block of wood, the grippy texture, and honestly, except for making a giant mess, it's pretty quick. And then once I get to that step, now I can come through and just pick out my coffee, which is the longest part. I could just process it all and then winnow it, but winnowing it means setting up some sort of fan or waving something large at it to blow wind, and then this just goes everywhere.
Yeah, I am up in the jungle again. Up in the jungle. I am working on extending the pig fence because the bug in the eyeball. Because the pigs would like more greenery, We've killed their current area, and it is just far easier to extend their area than have to move water and house and stuff. So I'm just extending it, which is pretty easy. This area was pigs already. It has not regrown as much as one would hope, but it's what we have to work with. It's relatively easy to fence because it still kind of has a fence line. I kind of had to move it a little bit, but it's not that big of a deal. I've got all the stakes in, all but a few, and then just put the wire and the ribbon up, and I should be able to move them either, or open them, open it up to them either tonight or tomorrow morning. So it's not too big of a deal. Chris is spending the day working, which I am terribly grateful for. I wish he was home with us, but also very grateful he has the opportunity to work. So he is doing some, I don't know, random odd jobs for a neighbor that has restaurants in town. Right now he's actually at home building a rotisserie chicken warming light. Yeah, that's the kind of odd jobs, but luckily he is an absolute pro at odd jobs. There's nothing that he can't figure out how to do, which is kind of amazing. So he is working on that. I'm gonna work on putting up the rest of the stakes and maybe start putting up wire and ribbon. What else has Tuesday brought? Is this Tuesday? Is this Wednesday? This is Wednesday. Sorry. Yesterday was Tuesday. Monday didn't make it on the vlog. Monday wasn't terribly exciting. Monday was just Monday. So Wednesday, I'm putting these up. I'm doing this. What else? Jerky is on the smoker. Fresh batch of jerky, which, yes, we make quite often, but we love it. We also give it to some of the friends and neighbors around here, which they very much appreciate. So we're making a little bit extra. Yeah, so we're going to do some of this, and then I will have to hand off the phone / camera back to Chris to go back to town. So we're making do with what we got, and we are grateful for it. Don't grab the fuzzy caterpillar. Just don't do it. All right, stakes are in. Now, the only thing left to do besides the fence in here is to rescue a cool tree. And by rescue, I think we're going to take cuttings of it and hope, woo, so slippery, and hope that it works. This tree doesn't really look like a whole lot. We have a few of them in here, actually. It just looks like a tree. So the trees have these beautiful sort of cascading clusters of yellow flowers. The whole tree sort of hangs like a little bit like a weeping willow, which I think would be really, really pretty hanging over the eventual duck pond. So that's my dream of where those will go. But because the trees, honestly, they're a bit big to try to move, and we don't actually have their spot ready, we are going to try to take some cuttings, see if we can root them. It's a wild guess that it'll work. The trees themselves, they survived the last pigs in that area, so they'll probably survive these pigs. But on the off chance they don't, we're going to try to root them just so we don't lose them altogether. And we'll see how that goes. Stay tuned. Maybe we'll have cool trees. Maybe not. All right, look at my pretty steps. These are honestly not the best steps I've ever made, only because they're kind of uneven. But uneven, I mean like their spacing is a bit uneven. But that's because instead of just going until I was done, I really had an end point up there. So it was a little bit trickier, but they definitely work. They're incredibly serviceable. And this top one, once I fill that in with dirt, we'll have a nice flat spot to walk from the house site. House. So this is our main sort of entry to the house right now. Not really on purpose. It's through Chris's bedroom. I don't know. This is just kind of how it worked out. Because this is our only real access point that has a proper path. So it'll change once we have a driveway. But for now, this is our main access point. And this is where we walk from here to the water. And I was really tired of sliding down the hill in the muck, carrying buckets of water and things. So that was the main purpose of this. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it will work. And I'm so pleased to have it.
Okay, there's a job. If you're ever in a small town and there's a box with warming lights and it has warm chicken, I may have built parts for that. So that's where we end up. Just a little stand so the lid doesn't fall and explode, and a little structure to hold the warming lights because the box didn't come with it. And that is the end of small project for today. Moving on.
It's drizzly. Not a ton of rain, but it's sort of unpleasant. So there's going to be a lot of bouncing back and forth between inside projects when it's raining and trying to get the pig fence up and ready to go. Speaking of pigs, the child is hauling tree. Can you get that all the way up there?
Oh, that's a long way.
That's a long ways. I said greens, I didn't say tree.
I like trees.
That's a lot of tree.
I want to eat green trees.
All right. That's a face.
What are you doing there?
What are you doing? It's some sort of weird whirly gig.
Making a stupid thing. This is my stupid project.
That looks so silly.
Backstory. If you're interested in moving to Ecuador and you live in the US, you are used to the standard, I forget the name of it, valve that goes on a propane tank that has little threads, and there's a couple of styles, but mostly it has nice big threads and a big thing and a big seal. It goes on the seals, and that's the end of that. They work pretty reliably. Ecuador does not use said fittings. Instead, they use a regulator with a quick disconnect. You push it onto the tank and it goes through a little rubber collar and around a piece, and then it like grabs, holds itself down, and then you turn a little lever and it pushes a pin that opens the tank and lets it through. However, the tolerance on that is like thousandths of an inch. So if the surface of the little pin wears a tiny bit, or the tank you get is worn ever so slightly, what you get is a regulator that cannot go down enough to push the pin to let out the gas, which means you get a cold shower. And it goes and it turns off, and it just doesn't turn on. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And as the regulator gets a year or two old, they just get more and more hinky, and you're twisting them and turning them and giving them a little pushy poo. Yeah, I said pushy poo. So,
Or you start setting things like cement blocks on them.
you could go pay $5 or $10 and replace the regulators. We got 2 of them that are doing this. Or you could create a stupid thing. Stupid thing sits on the top of the tank, grabs the little lips of the rim, and then this, which is stuck right now, I gotta free it up, pushes down gently on the regulator, opening up the gas valve, holding it securely, allowing you to shower peacefully. Stupid thing of the day.
The things we do.
Nickel.
With your nickel there.
Oh, stinger. Goes there. Oh, it pulls slightly off center. Well, that's a bit of a problem.
Oh. It doesn't sit up right.
No, I'm not sure. I don't know how I could roll the nut underneath.
Although to be fair, this is really crooked too. It was crooked.
little bit of down pressure. Check the gas.
Oh, that's a good sound.
Woof.
Woof.
Flame.
Woof is good. Flame means hot water.
So this replaces a rock and a block and a bigger block
It was a mess.
that we had gently balanced up in the air to put a little down pressure. So while that is slightly ghetto-tastic,
It is less ghetto than the stack.
the gas now again reliably works, and it's easy to undo and change. So
Win.
throw some quick paint on it, keep it from rusting out of existence. Stupid thing done.
That's a win.
You want to talk about your boots?
No!
Do you want to talk about your boots? What'd you do to your boots? Radio. My wife's boots. She works, as we shall put it, incredibly hard. She has worn out multiple pair of what are considered good quality boots, Danners. Yeah, they're the only ones that make them in her size. As far as like when you look up like women's work boots, they don't exist in small sizes. They don't exist in most sizes. Mostly they're fashion boots. Women aren't supposed to work. Anyway, Danner, nice enough to make them in a small enough size. Kind of the best we can get. So this is what they look like. Leather, badly cracking, fraying. I'm not even gonna show you the inside. She's torn up the inside. Well, there's, yeah, like just coming apart. So the first step is just get them clean. Soles are getting close to done. Look at this one. Yeah, this one's worse. But this one, oh, hello, I am Mr. Boot. I am having a bad time. Please help me. That's on the agenda. So I got to clean this one up too. And try to glue them with the old contact cement. And see if it'll hold for a little while. Good times. This is normally where new and creative expletives are created for the chickens. Some days it just rains. Usually, right about the time it's time to put the goats away. It's a thing. It's rained on and off all day today. This is actually the most it's rained though. I'm not going to wash away. But, doggo. Toby dog. What about you, Toby? Going back to bed? Yeah, doggo hates water. So, that is what we get for solar. Nada. It's literally nothing. There's just, at no point today did we really see the sun. At most, I think we had 500 or 600 watts from the whole array. Jen, there is lovely wife. Ah, you put goats away.
So what?
That's what I'm talking about. Oh, cold?
It's nice. It's great. It's fine.
Ah, the good life. Cheers. Cheers. Smiles and cheers.
Oh boy.
Where we last left off, we were using just a little bit of generator, which I try not to do, but it, you know, sometimes it's necessary. And then it stopped. And I don't know why it stopped, so I started again. And then it stopped again. Yeah, well, Honda. Something was definitely wrong. So, Tara know it. Find out. I don't know if we can see this on video. Try to light it up. See the brown goo? That's water. All right. Do you see the flying ants? Had to be on a flying ant night. So, like, they're all over me. Eli's nice enough to hold a flashlight and stand over there so I can try to get this back together. But I just had to go and pull the carburetor apart, clean the orifices. The small generators do not have water trap, or for that matter, a filter. That's good to know. Future upgrade. There's room in here. I could cut one in. So hopefully, if I've done my mechanicking correct, let's see, fuel on, choke on. We'll give it a second just to fill. And if I've done that correct, then this will suddenly work. Before, it would only work with the choke full on, which is usually a sign that the carburetor is fouled. This is part sometimes of the existence of, you need to know how to do it yourself. And we say it a lot of times in videos of like, you just need to learn all this stuff. There's videos on how to do this. I've been a mechanic for many years. So it's not foreign to me. But it's a simple thing. Take the carburetor apart. I needed a screwdriver, a wrench, and a pair of pliers, and the whole thing comes apart. Let me give it a quick try. That's better. It runs now. It's not perfect. I must have missed a little bit somewhere. That's what I get for trying to rush through it and do it with the bugs attacking me. So I'll put it back together. I'll run it under load. Sometimes the last little bits will run out now that I've cleared it, but I also may be sucking more from the tank. Like if I got water, it probably came in from the gas station that way where I just picked up water. It has muddy color to it. Life at the edge of the Amazon. All right.
Happy Friday. It is a cool, cloudy day. It's actually going to be rather cool today. I'm wearing like long sleeves and stuff. This is unusual. It's actually only going to get into the high 60s today, which is not normal for us. So, weird. But I'm going to take advantage of it and get some stuff done outside. Although it just started to rain and it's out here. Oh well. It did rain all night and all morning, so a little bit more is to be expected. Did not share with the blog yesterday my grand jungle fiasco. Fell down hard. You step on a slippery log on the ground and your foot goes out from under you completely and you crash to the forest floor on top of all of the logs and branches and things that smash into your back. Yep, that's what I did. It was a slow evening and it's a slow morning. It's like 11 o'clock and I'm still sore. I'm still hopping around a little bit, but no permanent damage, just very sore. So I'm going to go finish the pig fence. That's what I was doing when I fell. But I'm going to go finish that because it needs done. just needs done. So I'm going to go do that before it either gets really hot and sunny tomorrow or rains more and the ground is all sloppy. So I'm going to do it now. And then I have a bunch of kitchen stuff to do and other things when the weather probably ends up terrible later. So that's a big part of making sure we're productive here is to just, if it's raining, you work inside, and as soon as it stops raining, you go outside and work. Can't always have a perfect plan for a day. You just kind of have to wing it and work with what you get. I think Chris and Eli are going to go work on the log again, trying to get that finished up. Let's see what else. I gotta pick coffee. Chris is gonna work on his coffee, which is getting parchment off still. And then he's gonna roast some the old-fashioned way, like we used to for a video, which is really cool. It was really good. It's just a little laborious, but it's good. And that'll come out, I don't know, later this week, next week. I don't know what the order things are. Oh, there's the chainsaw. He's working on getting the chainsaw back up and running well. So, yeah.
Jungle date, 18/7/25. We have encountered contamination of our fuel source. All right, a little bit of Trekkie nerd. In our last clip, we rebuilt the generator. If you can hear, purring like a kitten. Absolute, without missing a beat, like a sewing machine, like a Honda should. Just beautiful. I'm test running it, just to make sure there's not any more. I ended up having to dump the whole thing out, and because I should have just done it last night, but I was covered in bugs and upset about it. Dumped it all out, cleaned out the tank, which you can do when it's small, and took that into this here soup pot. So that's running great, and I'm test running it to make sure it's reliable, and I am drying out my wife's boots so I can properly re-polish and cream them. Now, it may be difficult to see, but you see this little line here? Fuel, water. This much is water, and then that much is fuel. We have normally not this bad of luck. We get all of our gas at the same gas station. It's normally quite reliable. It's a new gas station too. But this was a larger failure. So I took all of our gas and I have siphoned it through the soup pot and then in, and the water separates out. Yeah, I have to go talk to them about that. They have some sort of either a bad shipment or a failure. That's pretty bad. What else am I doing? I took the chain off, which had terrible sticky spots and would go tight, loose, tight, loose, tight, loose. Yeah, I ran it through the ultrasonic cleaner, which is made for jewelry, with a bit of gas, which you're not supposed to do. But it does a nice job, and it got the funk out of the inside of the chain. So then, after removing said funk, I dunked it in some oil, and all of a sudden the tight spots, loose spot thing is all gone. She runs nice and true, got it resharpened. We can go and continue cutting on our wood. Now, this, I actually found on the road. I hit it and got mad that I hit something. It just went ka-tang, and nobody else will ever pick something up, so I did. I gave it a light sand. That's a useful piece of metal. In fact, it's just the right size to replace this thing, which has now broken several times because the wire is too thin. So I'm going to bend this up to fit here and basically mimic what I had out of wire, but out of steel, and I'm going to put a whole bunch of holes in it so I have lots of different angles to set with my little hooky deal. It's just a mild upgrade because, yeah, this has failed on us now a couple of times. The wire just, we're pulling so hard to try to get through a real thick cut that it just like untwists and then breaks. Literally found on the road. Totally good piece of steel. I'll make it work. There we go. Old and busted wire. New hotness. Unbreakable. Also, I have finer adjustment range to set my angle going up and down. So it just sits in there and holds tension, and I can set whatever depth of cut that I like. Bueno.
And now it's time to pick coffee. It is a tedious job. It also involves a lot of ants that live on the coffee plants, but it's pretty fun to have our own coffee. Not that many people get to say that they grow their own coffee. I mean, I guess a lot of the world does. To us, it still seems really cool. Alright, so I'm going to pick coffee for a while. There's still quite a bit on here. And while the sun is not exactly shining, it's also not raining, so. It did not take the pigs terribly long to cross the fence line for greener pastures. We've actually been up here for a couple hours. I am up here now to feed them. But to be fair, they seem pretty excited about the green stuff instead, which is exactly what we want. Awesome. All is well. So dreary. So wet. I'm hiding under the tiny bit of overhang of the roof. It's just moist. So, as I hide here, it's gross. We are sort of just doing odds and ends things today. I'm glad I got the pig fence done yesterday because today would have been much more difficult. Yeah, so I'm mostly working on the computer. I have videos to edit. I have technical difficulties to resolve with said videos. Having a hard time. I have some writing to do, kitchen stuff, cleaning, food stuff. I'm mostly just going to be inside today, which is not very exciting, but it is what it is. And Chris and Eli are hanging out in the canopy working on random projects. If it clears up, I know that they want to go get more wood. They cut more wood yesterday and they want to go haul that up. But we got to have a little bit of a break in the rain to do that. So we'll see.
I'm cold.
You broke out like winter wear, didn't you?
I think it's been 2 years since I've even touched these. They've just been like sitting, sadly. I tried to wear sweatpants under them. They didn't fit. Okay. Weather. I just repaired the lovely wife's boots, which were destroyed right
Wait,
here.
I'll show you on my rain boots too.
Yep. Yep.
Right there.
Yep. See the cuts? Yeah, her nice Danners, which unfortunately are irreplaceable here, are like all the way through the tread and into the base sole of the boot, like really bad. And then I just like, you ever look at your shovel? You ever look, like really look at your shovel? I'm not ridiculous. You see this? So she puts her foot there. Guess what? There's this lovely little like edge that has been chomping into her boot. Now she's mostly right-footed, so that's this side. So I've cut it out and I've added a larger pad. I'm going to trim it up and stuff when I'm done, but somewhere to like stick a boot, not destroy it, not rub the inside. Yeah, and then I got to fix the end because my wife is hard on tools. Her dainty little legs just straight up destroy things like hardened tempered steel.
Oh!
She works. Not many women destroy a shovel. So, yeah, small modification, just based on the damage on the boost. So that's fun. So I got that going on. What else? That was totally finished. That works great. Pleased with.
The child is working on departmenting. Yeah.
We have a coffee video coming up, specifically for a friend of mine. Competition grade coffee roasting, with basically no equipment. It is possible. It is not difficult, but it is also not easy. But you first have to get the dang parchment off the
Hands are
coffee.
the equipment.
They are your primary weapon. Use them. So we're taking care of some little stuff while the day moists.
The goats are really mad.
They're mad.
Goats don't enjoy. Got the umbrella.
That's Mavy Moo. Hi, Mav. Yeah.
And then the dog's just hiding.
Oh, yeah.
Toby.
No. Toby does not
And just
enjoy.
like that, the week is over.
Yeah, I just went to the Sunday market. Have a van full of things sitting in the river.
Supplies. We are literally parked in a picturesque river that we cross on our way home because it just seemed like a nice spot to end our vlog here for the week of all of our crazy shenanigans and repairs and weather and things. Yeah, subscribe if you haven't. Gosh, thanks for watching. We will see you for the next one.